You probably clicked on this video because you're in your 30s and your 40s and you're probably feeling burnt out because you, maybe without knowing it, you're comparing yourself to a lot of other people that you see online. I'm letting you know you're not alone because I go through that same exact process, and we're going to talk about that today. You see, over the last 3 or 4 years, I built an award-winning photography career, and so I had an identity. I knew who I was. I wasn't really comparing myself to a lot of people because I had a lot of success and I had a lot of validation from that success. But since that time, and I've started to step away from photography and started to step away from that space, I've noticed I haven't really had an identity, and so naturally, I've started to go online, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube, and I'm watching other people, other creators, other successful people, and I'm starting to compare myself to them. And when I start to compare myself to them, I am noticing that like the inspiration and the motivation that I normally have, like it's just depleting. It's almost like just free falling because I'm comparing myself. And so I think I've figured out how to solve that. So you see, over the past few months, I have gone through just a roller coaster of ups and downs, and I've been kind of like fumbling back and forth of trying to figure out who I am without being identified as a photographer. And over the last 2 years, it was super easy. Whenever I would meet somebody, I would say, hey, my name is, and I am a professional photographer. But now when I meet somebody and they ask me what I do, I'm like, I kind of fumble a little bit because I don't have an identity that I attach myself to anymore. And that's really hard for people. And so if you're going through that, 1, you're not alone. 2, I know how hard that is. And 3, I think I've figured out how to make that easier. You see, one of the, maybe it's a good or bad thing about social media is you get to see other people posting content. They're creating that and they're showing a really cool version of themselves online. And naturally, we compare ourselves to that. And whether we know it or not, we're starting to think, oh, they have more success from us or less success. And we're comparing ourselves to every single person that we see. But if you're sitting on your phone and you're doing that over and over and over again, 1, that's really exhausting without you even knowing it's exhausting. And at some point, that actually starts to kind of eat away at your creativity. And it starts to eat away as you as a person because you're just spending so much time comparing yourself to other people. And so what I've learned over the past few weeks, the number one thing that has helped me overcome that and stop comparing myself and kind of get back to who I am as a person and get back to my roots is, this may be hard to hear for some people, is I put down my phone. I know it's crazy to think about, but I used to be the person that would sit on the couch and just scroll for hours and hours and hours without even knowing it. And then I would become exhausted after that. I'd be completely tired, burnt out, and I wouldn't want to either create any content or do anything. So it's almost like a detox in a way where when I put my phone down, I was naturally looking to like grab it and just start swiping and looking for some type of like dopamine hit in a way. But over the course of the next few days, what I realized was the more time I was not on social media, the more time I was spending with my own thoughts, where I was thinking about myself and thinking about what I like and don't like as an individual. And I was putting less pressure on what I think everyone else likes and coming back to the core as a person. And from that, I think I found the correlation of when we're on social media, we're not only comparing ourselves to the people that we're scrolling and seeing online, but then that same exact thing starts to translate into the real world. And when you see people out in public, maybe it's at a restaurant, maybe it's at a mall, if we still even have malls, or it's at your job, you start to naturally compare yourself to the people around you. Maybe it's looking at somebody's shoes, maybe it's looking at their watch, maybe it's looking at the car that they drive, and you're naturally comparing yourself to what they have versus what you have. And when you do that, you start to lose yourself in the process because you start to almost navigate to try to be like that person or have what they have so you can emulate the feeling of joy that they have for whatever things that you are comparing yourself with. And that is where the slippery slope can happen. That's where you can start to lose yourself completely and start to just almost be like other people. And so my biggest piece of advice for you, the biggest takeaway from this whole entire video is if you're feeling that, step back and evaluate, am I spending too much time on my phone? Am I spending too much time scrolling on social media, comparing myself to other people? And if so, ask yourself the question, am I also doing that in other places when I walk into work? Am I comparing myself to my coworkers? Am I comparing myself to my friends, to my family? And really get down like dirty and like ask yourself that gross question. And if you've answered yes to any of that, then I would suggest putting your phone down for a few days, unplugging, and watch the magic start to happen. All right, super quick video, but I hope this one helps. This is something that I've been going through for the past few months. And so I want to let you know, one, you're not alone. And two, if I can get through it and go through that process, you can go through that too. All right, thanks for stopping by the studio. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.